Hey, good morning YouTube. How's everybody doing today? A little tired this morning, a little grumpy. The old weatherman me again. Yeah, the weather basically said it was supposed to snow all night. Little skiff all night. So I had the guys on call for 3 a.m. There was absolutely nothing on the ground at 3 a.m. So then I told them to be on call for 6 a.m. Absolutely nothing on the ground then. And now it is 8 a.m. and there is finally a skiff of snow on the ground. I got probably 2 hours of sleep last night, maybe. I love this business. It makes me all warm and fuzzy inside. We're gonna send the salt trucks out and the salt and the sidewalk crews, have them salt everything. At least we're making some money, but I sure hate sitting up all night looking at the weather because they obviously have no idea what they're talking about. We did have a good day in the shop yesterday, so I can show you guys what we're working on. Sean's been working on this salter here. He got the light brackets on, got that all wired up, new control box, new wiring, and then this is how we wire up our lights for our salters. Little different design than most people, but it just works better because the main harness doesn't have enough wires for lights on these older salters. We just run them back here, works pretty good, easy. They got the dump bed out of this truck yesterday, got this truck kind of cleaned up, and we're gonna go through this one, and this one's gonna get a salter now as well. This truck's never had a salter in it, so I want to check everything over, make sure it's good to go. This thing here, we don't know what's going on now. So Chris got this all put back together, and it started and ran, but it was like out of time or getting too much fuel. So the John Deere guy came over yesterday, ripped it all back apart. He can't find anything. He says it doesn't make sense. This is all mechanical engine, so there's no tricky sensors or weird stuff. It's all pretty simple. I think he took the injectors out to test them, which they shouldn't be bad because this ran and drove in here. But, you know, just one of them things. Morning.
Running salter wire.
Okay. Where's this go?
This is going into the dash.
Yeah, okay.
Get the plug in.
Yep.
Down here is a plug, and then this should be key to power. I'm guessing that can go right into the side of the dash.
Okay.
Power.
Well, take your time with that.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've ever done one of those, but
No, Sean kind of ran me through it, told me
the
how it
biggest
goes.
thing is just be careful where you're zip tying it to. It's like that one under there. A lot of guys like to zip tie it to like sharp metal objects.
Yeah.
And then what happens is it rubs through there. And then also that'll go all the way back, and then it'll sit on top of the spare tire.
Yep. Yeah, he said
You
there's
know,
gonna
there'll
be
be
like
a
3 or
couple.
4 feet extra.
Yep.
But leave 2 feet down.
Right, yep. Yeah, the biggest thing is making sure that's not against anything hard or dragging down or
No
anything. So,
rubbish.
yep.
Yeah.
So, okay, sounds good.
Yep.
Yeah, the John Deere guy, I don't know what's wrong with that. He had to pull it all back apart.
Oh, really?
He can't figure out what's going on
Sean
with it. So,
mentioned something about the push rods.
yeah, they're all straight. I don't know what's going on. We got the salt shed pretty much full yesterday. We brought in 50 ton, and then we had 25 ton in there previously. So there should be about 75 ton in there. John and Sean are getting all the salt trucks loaded up. Well, 3 of them. Be able to get by with 3 this morning. Yesterday, Hunter, Holly, and Tech went and installed some permanent lights on a house. So that's kind of nice. We can still do that year round. This truck needs the front differential resealed. It's leaking like a That truck, the 2015, needs a transfer case, I'm 99% sure. So that's awesome news. He's banging and clanging. Plenty of stuff to fix here. And for any of you guys that look at the weather and stuff like that, it's supposed to get super, super cold the first couple weeks of January. And it sounds like a bunch of snow. Fingers crossed we get a bunch of snow in January. We did get a pretty good January last year. Well, like two weeks, and that was it. But I'm gonna let these guys finish up, and then they'll come into the shop and we'll make a game plan what's going on today. Well, why don't you zoom down to basketball, check that out. And yeah, probably not. Check that out and then come back to Fenimore, and we're gonna salt everything in Fenimore. I kind of want to make sure Piggly Wiggly, you know, and Quick Trip are good, like, so we don't have to go back out later today because it's gonna get cold again tonight.
Run into the storage units too.
Yeah, you probably could, as cold as it is. Yeah. So make sure and turn your radio on and all that, and then. But yeah, you can head down there. Why don't you guys head to Fenimore? Start on walks there, Fenimore, and let me know. Make sure to turn your radio on. John's hairdo this morning. John, you getting a haircut today or what?
Probably not today.
Maybe next year.
Maybe.
Where's Tack at? Is he coming? Oh. Well, I'll send you to Platteville and just check everything over. And like I was telling Sean, let's make sure we give everything at least a little bit of salt, because it's going to get cold again tonight. I don't want you guys to have to come out tomorrow.
Okay.
It's going to get down in the 20s tonight, so if there's anything on them, they're going to freeze. If we at least treat them, then they won't freeze and then have to come in on New Year's Day.
Okay.
Okay, thanks.
Yep.
John, why don't you take 206 to Fenimore and start salting. There's probably enough to salt in Fenimore pretty much everywhere. Quick Trip, I would do a really light salting. And then make sure and go in and log that in. Kind of like what I told him, I kind of want to treat everything. That way we don't have to come back in tomorrow morning. These guys went out and did some permanent lights yesterday. It means they got ladders and planks and all kinds of shit. It is nice being able to do lights even after Christmas. Make a couple bucks. Oh, and I just realized it is the end of the month. So that means I need to help Justin and Sydney with billing. So we bill everything out at the end of the month, obviously. Justin nor Sydney have ever done snow removal billing. So that means I'm gonna have to spend some time in the office today. Show them guys how to do that. It's quite complicated for somebody that's never done it, just because, you know, some of them are contracts, they pay the same amount every month. Some of them are per visit. Last day of the year, so we got to get everything billed out and see how we did this year. But let's go spread some salt first. Derek called in sick this morning, so that's not good. Derek doesn't normally call in sick. If he's sick, he can usually sit at his computer and still do his job. So it must be bad. I think he's got the flu. His whole family was sick. And then Sydney's sick. And I think the guys in the shop are getting sick. I don't know. It's just that time of year where everybody's got a cough and sickness, and it's just going around like crazy. Of course, right after Christmas when everybody spent time together. You know, happy holidays. Sean, you got a copy, Sean?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, just making sure my radio's working. Yeah, we just making sure the radio's working.
Loud and clear.
Whoa, wonderful. Got my radio all fixed. I got my strobe lights fixed. A couple lights on my headache rack were out. And my heated windshield wipers. Got all that shit fixed. Finally. Looks like they got almost everything shot with some salt. Again, I know it doesn't look that bad on camera, but it is It's 29 degrees this morning, and it's a little wet, but things are freezing in some spots, so it's just what you gotta do. Even if it's not a crazy ice storm, you still want things clear. And then, like I said, it's today's New Year's Eve, so the guys kind of wanted tomorrow off, so I want to make sure everything's treated so we don't have to come in late tonight or tomorrow morning or some shit like that. We do have a lot of stuff to get done in the shop, so let's head on back there and see what we can get done today. Oh, I need to find a 8-foot bed mat. So underneath all the salters, we put an old bed mat, keep the salt off the truck. Probably gonna have to get on Marketplace, or maybe Farm and Fleet has new ones for $100 or something. Maybe we could just do that, I don't know. But so any of my regular viewers, you guys know how much I like things organized, OCD. Everything's gotta be in a certain place, and I really like to have things straight and organized, like to the extreme. So here's a good example. I spent my weekend, well, obviously didn't take me all weekend, but you know, cut out the foam, cut out pieces. So these are my 2 extra cameras. Got all the batteries tidy in there. Got the SD cards. Why GoPro doesn't do this, I don't know. I hated the stuff just flopping around in there. It drives me crazy. So yep, I know, I'm crazy. I'm aware of it. I'm aware. Everything's gotta be organized. Figure out which way to go here.
Yeah, I shouldn't have went right there. It wants to rub on the cab.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go right before the fuel pump and go on the back side of it.
Got her?
Getting there.
Okay.
You want these ground all the way down?
Probably, yeah.
Can I put a plate on this backside?
No. I don't think I would. It should be fine.
Okay.
So that's just a snowplow bracket. I got brackets with that last snowplow that I bought, and they're for an '08 Chevy. We will use them, but I sent them to get powder coated, and the guy sandblasted them and found a crack in one of them. Tech's welding that up, and then we'll send her back to get powder coated. And then that's just gonna be an extra set of brackets, or if I decide to buy another truck, we'll have brackets readily available. Oh boy, trying to find a battery draw, not going very well. John's got every fucking fuse pulled out of this truck and everything unhooked. We don't know what's going on. Did you find one?
That's fine.
What's that? Right as I say that on camera, he finds the right one. We got something pulling a big draw on this because it's killing 2 brand new batteries in like 4 hours. Which fuse is it? What's it say, John?
Something with ignition.
Maybe a starter? Nah, you wouldn't think. Solenoid sticking open? I don't know. Both of these trucks here got battery draw like crazy. Dead real quick. You can try it. It's going, but we better
Here's a soak.
keep hosing this fucker down here. Alright, go. Stop. Okay. Spray it one more time, then we should be able to run a little faster here.
Seems like it's getting looser.
Right? Yeah.
next day.
What's up today, everybody? It is January 1st, 2025. Nobody's working today. Obviously Caleb is, because that's all I do. Moving around the dump trucks today. We need a little more space in the yard out back, so this one here is full of salt. So we're gonna give her a little salt bath and let her dry out good. Make sure all the air lines don't have any water in them. Make sure the fuel doesn't have any water in it. Treat everything, and then take both dump trucks up to the supply center and park them there. The only time we'll need them really in the winter is if I have to get an emergency load of salt, or if we get a ton of snow and we got to haul snow out of sight. So let's do a little ASMR pressure washing video. All right, we just got her all rinsed off. Obviously, we're not getting her ready for a car show. I just want to get the salt and the grime off it. Jacob hauled a few loads of salt with it, so it's been going down the salty roads, and I don't want to park it for 3-4 months full of salt. So we got her all rinsed off, and now we're gonna give it a little salt's gone bath. If you guys haven't ever heard of this, I would say look it up, check it out. We've been using this stuff for 3-4 years, and it's pretty good stuff. Eco-friendly. Some kind of chemical reaction gets rid of all the salt. So let's hose her down with that. Got her all washed up here, ready for winter storage. Fun fact, when I built this shop, I did not own a quad axle truck, but I always knew that I would. And that's part of the reason why I made these ceilings 18 foot tall, because I knew someday I'd be doing exactly this. Super thankful to have this shop. Works great. I love taking care of my equipment and keeping things washed and cleaned up. I think I'm gonna leave it in here overnight, let it dry, let the high school kids probably clean the interior out, and then pretty sure the plug for the oil pan to keep it warm does not work. I don't know why, I can't think of what that's called right now. That's what happens when you get old. But I think I'm gonna have Sean replace that cord tomorrow, make sure that works. That way if it's below 0, we can go and plug it in and actually start it this winter. If we get enough snow that we gotta haul it out. All right, job well done. All right, guys, we got another gift. Caleb doesn't like receiving gifts, but if you guys feel the need, I guess. I'll be giving this stuff to the employees, but we got a gift from Green Landscaping. Dear Caleb, have been watching... I fucking hate reading shit. Read that, Derek. What does that say?
Have been watching the channel since the start and greatly enjoy it. As somebody that does exactly the same work and has a similar size business with the same number of guys, figured I would send you some merch. I don't expect you to wear it outside the house. This comes from Colin from Green Landscaping.
Well, thanks, buddy. Looks like he sent us some merch, some nice stuff here. He's kind of right. I probably wouldn't wear this. Just I have my own landscaping company that I like to advertise for. But I'll give it to some of the employees. Them guys will wear it. And this one here is pretty nice. This is a
Carhartt.
nice heavyweight Carhartt sweatshirt. So I'll definitely wear that. But yeah, shout out to Green Landscaping. So he's from Pennsylvania. We appreciate you watching. And hope your landscaping business is going good and plowing snow and making money and doing all that stuff. Woo, it is cold out here, guys. What the hell is the temperature today? Well, it's 20, but it feels like about 10. As you can see, guys, we got little to no snow here in southwest Wisconsin. Not going very good, but what do? You just sit around and wait for snow, I guess. But I got a few of the guys pimped out to the neighbors here, or subcontracted out to the neighbors just so they can stay busy. So we're gonna go see what they're doing. The neighbors got some work to do in a building that they purchased, and they wanted a couple extra guys, and we don't have much going on, so it works out pretty good. This is that parking lot we made this fall. Seems like that's holding up pretty good. It is fucking cold out. So I think they're gonna want us to fix all this and fix this all up. I don't know. They just bought this building, so they're gonna fix her all up. They're probably all just sitting in here playing cards or something. This doesn't look like fun. Hanging insulation. At least they got masks on.
You're more scared of insulation than silica dust?
Yeah.
All right.
It's supposed to snow tonight, so the guys are doing it right now.
I hope so. Yeah, we got a 31% chance of 0.01 inches of snow tonight. So we better get back to the shop and get the plows on and get the salters loaded up.
I would.
So unfortunately, these guys are installing insulation, which isn't the funnest job in the world, but I guess it's better than sitting at home collecting unemployment. So definitely warmer in here already. It's hot. I was in here the other day and there was like no insulation and it was freezing in here. So these guys will be in their underwear tomorrow working in here. Well, we got Sean working in the shop on some snow plows and odds and ends, and these guys up here putting insulation in. I got Holly working on t-shirts and some more tumblers to put in the merch shop. So we're kind of keeping everybody busy, but definitely a little slow.
Tech, we gonna see you Saturday?
I'll be there.
Hunter, we gonna see you Saturday?
Yeah, my dad's already going out on Friday.
What time did you guys work till yesterday? 4?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we're out of here. Looks good, thanks. Yeah. Peace
Right.
out.
See ya.
You walk over here, D-Rock? Yeah.
No, I drove.
So, like I said, we're pretty lucky to have the option to help the neighbors out. Like I said, they just bought this building and needed a couple extra guys, so it's working out pretty good. And then also what Derek was referring to is the guys are all going on an ice fishing trip this Saturday, I guess, and they are taking the cameras and stuff, so they're gonna film all that. Caleb doesn't do water. Caleb's not going on the ice. I'm too heavy, and I'm definitely not fishing. I find it extremely boring. So, but pretty much everybody else here at Pagel Services likes fishing, including Holly, so maybe she'll go. I don't know, but this boy ain't getting on the ice. Ain't happening.
Are you trying to tell me that fishing is not only boring, but you wouldn't want to be freezing cold for 5 hours too?
Yeah, freezing cold
And also the
staring at a hole in the fucking ice.
the possibility of crack.
Listening to it crack while I walk around and eat a bag of cheese curds. Just wish we'd get hammered with snow.
Just a foot a week is all we ask.
So,
Hey, what do you think? Should we go read some comments now?
I don't know. I don't want to read comments today.
Yeah.
Fuck. I guess. Let's go read some comments there.
Let's go. And now, time for everybody's favorite segment, Caleb in the Comments.
It's not Caleb's favorite time, but okay.
Our very first comment comes from @JeffLynch3524. Dude, you're going to have a heart attack with the stress you're going through. Maybe it's time to get some reliable help and stop being too nice to the ones you have now. You're the boss. Put the hammer down and stop beating yourself up on this bullshit. Bottom line is you're too nice of a guy.
All right, well, thanks there, buddy. Heart attack probably someday, I'm sure. I feel like I have really good guys, and there's a fine line at being too nice and too mean, and I feel like I've found that medium ground kind of over the years in business. So I don't think I'm too nice. You got to remember, you're just watching 40-minute videos here. So like me giving them gifts and being kind of easy on them, I do feel like I'm pretty strict with the way I want things done.
This one comes from @DonBearden1953. Brian, do you make the batch you cook on the stove spicy enough that you mix unheated and unspicy runny honey with it to bring down the strength of the pepper? Say, heat up with the stove and pepper 4 quarts, then cool down and blend with 4 quarts of plain room temp honey, so you have 8 quarts of flaming bee juice and don't have to cook 8 quarts?
That's on our channel?
Yeah.
That's a comment on our channel.
Mm-hmm.
He can't be referring, that guy must be lost in the sauce or something, I don't know.
Do you think you'd try flaming bee juice?
I mean, maybe. I don't know why. What? These people must be drunk or something. I don't know what's going on.
This one comes from @DarvinBrown. Good shit, Caleb. I would be pushing your guys way harder personally, but I respect the fact that you have to balance things and sometimes baby people or they will have a tantrum. If this was like 1950, these guys would be coming in half hour early. Instead, it's woke 2025 and you have baby them. It's pathetic, but you work with what you got.
Yeah, so the key word out of his comment is balance. So that's a good word to use. Like I said in the previous comment, over the years, I've learned that fine line of being too nice and being too mean. And once you find good employees and people you want to keep in your company, you really got to find that line, that fine line on being nice, not too mean. So appreciate that, and it's not easy by any means.
This one comes from Bria.L. You guys are idiots, but look like you do great work. I'm addicted to the content. Don't stop.
All right, so we're idiots, but they
like the content?
I don't know. It depends what video they were watching. I don't know. Derek can edit the video to make us look like idiots in every video if he wanted to, so I don't know.
This one comes from @CFD335346. Caleb, I'm a heavy equipment operator in Chicago. I love snow removal. You are doing a great job, brother. Keep it up, and forget about the haters.
Forget about the haters. Yeah, I'm still working on that. I've been doing good staying out of the comments for the most part. I don't know why Derek wants to bring me down memory lane here and read comments to me. But, yeah, and as far as the snow removal, we've been doing great at it this year. We've had the plows on one time, so it's the middle of January. It sucks. We're really praying for snow here, but appreciate it. I'm sure if you were in our area, you could swing on over and run some skid loaders or some plow trucks for us and have some fun with us.
This one is from @Taiwai1234. Caleb, when you own a business, you have to micromanage, man. Them owns that say dumb stuff and common what you do, well, they def don't run a business or even own any kind of tools or equipment and have to pay for touts pocketing. It breaks because everyone that has to buy new equipment does what yo do. I know I do, even at my own job I do it. And Caleb, my birthday is January 15th. I'd love a birthday present sent to me from you and the crew. Thank you, please, in advance. Keep it up, Pagel Services.
Well, I've had a headache all day, and reading that comment there is not helping at all. I don't know, do you think people text like that and his phone just says, I don't know, or is it midnight and he's drunk or what? But
I'm doing my best to read what it says.
We appreciate you, buddy.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday, January 15th. Mine was 2 days prior to that, so January 13th. So happy birthday. We won't be sending you out a birthday present, but definitely shout you out. Thanks for watching. We appreciate you.
This one comes from @MikeHauser5430. What's a good shovel brand you are using?
Good shovel brand. So we use the snowplow shovels. So if you go online and just search the snowplow shovel, there's a lot of different dealers, or I think you can get them direct, but they're a really good shovel. We've been using them for a lot of years. They had some issues when they first came out with the handles cracking and stuff, but I think they've fixed all those issues, and we sure like them shovels. They work good.
Second to last question. This comes from @EdgarBosworth9843. Excuse me, let me preface this. This is on the video where Hunter bends the forks.
Bent the forks, got it.
First, you're using wrong machine for job. Boss is just clueless for letting that machine for that job. I'm 55 years old, been in business since 14 years old, full time. Think out of the box, guy. A little digging to see how thick it was? Do stupid things, and stupid things happens.
I mean, do we even need to reply? He's been in business since he was 14, so clearly this guy knows everything. You can't tell him nothing, but, you know, that concrete pad was maybe 12 by 12 or whatever, 14 by 14. Super simple, easy to rip out. I've seen guys rip concrete out with forks all day long. Not an issue. I don't care if it was a foot thick all the way around. You could take it out with forks. You know, that's just how we've always removed concrete, and it works great. The only time forks are going to get bent is when you're being stupid. We should have that guy come run the show here. He knows everything, so, you know.
The final question of Caleb in the comments comes from @MarkFisher5588. Caleb, in your opinion, what plow setup do you like the best? The whiteout or a V-plow?
Yeah, so that gets asked like every video, it seems like, multiple times, and the whiteout has its place and the V-plow has its place. If you're doing open parking lots all the time, you're probably going to want a whiteout. They do scrape down better, but the issue we run into where we need the V-plows is if you get to a out-of-town country driveway, you know, and you show up and there's 3, 4, sometimes 5 feet of snow, you're not going to bust through that with a whiteout. I mean, you could, but it's going to be a pain. Where the V-plow, you can V it back and you can slam through some of those deep drifts. So the other thing too is if you're plowing deep snow and it's a little icy underneath, if you angle that whiteout plow one way, it's going to want to kind of move your truck around. Whereas if you V a plow back, you know, you can go straight through that. And really that's only on like the deep drifted driveways, which we have quite a few of those around here. So that's kind of why we stick with the V-plows. But I mean, they both work. They both get the job done. So it just depends what you're doing. Another question we have quite often is what tablets and software we use. And I'm pretty sure we've done a video on that, haven't we, Derek?
Yeah.
So let's put that video up right here so those guys can go watch that. Literally every time someone sees the radios or the tablets, they're in the comments asking what we use, and we're just not going to reply to 250 comments asking what we use. So is that all the comments you got for
That's
me
it.
today, Derek?
That's the full page.
Derek's got them printed out, which those ones really weren't that bad. We've seen a lot worse, so he just took out the PG-13 ones and put them in here. But again, guys, you got until tonight at midnight to get entered to win this stuff. Also, got a little surprise for you guys. Tonight, 7 p.m. Central Time, I'm going to be going live. We're going to do a little Q&A. Usually I go live for 2 hours, so we'll see if I can do 2 hours tonight, but we'll come on, spend some time with you guys, do some questions, and see how everybody's doing. So thanks for watching, guys. We appreciate you. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and we're trying to get to that 50,000 subscribers. Seems like we've been stuck at 40,000, 45,000 for about 6 months, so we appreciate you. Thanks. See you tonight at 7 o'clock Central Time. Alright, Derek, I just realized that was on time lapse, so that's not gonna work. Now is it? No. But, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what the fuck else I'm talking about, Derek. I'm honestly quite tired and quite out of it right now, so I'm gonna try and get some salting footage for you, Derek, here, and you know, that's about it. Come on. Jesus, it's even recording. It's a pretty good camera. I'm pretty sure the oil pan heater, what the fuck's it called? So, fun fact for the viewers. Fun fact for the viewers. This will be at the end of the video, obviously, in the blooper section. We already recorded this whole segment once. No audio. Derek had it on slow-mo or time lapse or something, not sure. But we gotta redo it all.
You ready?
Action.
Sweatshirt, shirt, hat for Derek's bald head.
Yeah, you could have that.